Hey everybody, welcome to Rebel TV. Today is Freedom Friday and our topic is the 3 idiotic ways that we tried to make money and how you can avoid these classic traps.
I have never done anything idiotic, ever, in the history of time. So how do you know?
So we are going to get into 3 very specific traps that people tend to fall into, how to avoid them, but in doing that we'll also be letting it all hang out a little bit, sharing with you some of the ridiculously silly things that we have done to attempt to make money.
Like running around sticking flyers inside of books in libraries and stuff. Like going to the library and finding Think and Grow Rich, sticking our flyer, our business card in there.
That was actually less uncomfortable than doing that same thing in the grocery store.
It was really uncomfortable. I hated that.
No.
Like it was in Mission Impossible or something.
I know, because you think that you don't want people to see you because then you feel like they're going to judge you. But then at the same time, if someone opens a book and finds a thing, they're going to judge. They're going to know you were in there doing exactly that, which is just like, oh, it's so stupid.
And then also like business magazines and stuff, and airports and shopping malls and stuff, just going around all the business magazines, sticking flyers at them all, thinking that someone's going to open it and go, what was this?
And go,
it was
destiny. I like it. Well, do you know what? Actually, I think that is all because we had heard of this guy in the company we were in at the time. One of the top recruiters had been recruited by a business card on his windscreen wiper. So everyone in that company was obsessed with putting business cards everywhere. You would go to company events and entire parking lots nearby would have been covered, and people putting stuff up on the signposts. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. But yeah, we've actually been entrepreneurial almost since we've known each other, for the last more than 10 years. And we've been through many business ideas, many actual businesses, and we've made a lot of mistakes. It took us 7 years of failure before we actually figured stuff out, got some things together, and made a shit ton of money. We've made, I think almost 230,000, something like that. A lot of money in the last couple of years, and that's not
the amateur porn phase.
No. That's not a guarantee of income, and in order to see the income disclaimer, you can click on the link that's below this video. There is a link somewhere down there that says income disclosure. So we don't guarantee that income, but because we've made a bunch of mistakes, it was easier for us to learn from them and to create what we've been able to create. So one of the first mistakes that people tend to make, and the first idiotic thing that we did.
Why'd you point at me?
Well, no, actually, it was something that I did, really. We were trying to figure out, how to make a lot of money, and one of the things that we did was we would get jobs that were, better and better. So our initial way of making money was to climb the corporate ladder, but to do it by jumping from job to job. So Mike had figured out that in order to get a better salary, if you wait in your same job, you're waiting on a boss to decide to give you an increase. So we would go, okay, instead of that, let's take our CV, let's go to a competing company. They'll give us 10 grand more a year, boom, instant increase in income, which is true.
Yeah, but never with the idea that with that plan, we'd also decided jobs aren't for us. That this is just a way to. If you have to do a job, you might as well get the most out of it.
The most money.
Yeah, so as soon as you get a job, they'll run to someone else with it. I have this badge.
Yeah.
Pay me.
It's actually, and the first entrepreneurial thing I ever did was completely in line with that. So my thinking was get as much per hour as you possibly can get. So the first thing I ever set up was a life coaching business. And I never actually fully set this up because I didn't, I kind of realized the mistake before I got too far into it, which was on the model that I was working with. I mean, there's life coaches out there who do amazing work, right? But none of them are the ones who got in it for the money. They get in it because they love doing it, right? I got in it because they were like, hey, did you know you can charge $50 an hour for life coaching? I was like, what? I earn 12. So I was trying to increase my hourly rate by doing life coaching. But I quickly realized that I personally was going to be limited by how many people I could call and how much I could charge per hour. So there was a cap because I only had a certain number of hours in the day. So I was still working on the job model. Like, that was my thinking. There's amazing life coaches out there who are making a shit ton of money. But I was never going to do that because I wasn't approaching it from, I want to coach people and become an expert in the field and give tons of value. I was like, how can I get people to pay me more money? Which, it's a wrong model, wrong way to do things. So the first classic mistake you can make is shortchanging the dream. So if your dream is to earn, 30 grand a month, 100 grand a month, or even just $100 a month, you've got to make sure that you choose an avenue that will allow you to fulfill that dream. So you don't have to compromise it. You don't have to say, well, this is what's possible. Instead, you want to be picking what you do based on what you want to have rather than on what you think is possible. And that's the very first mistake that we made. I mean, the first stuff you were doing was all around DJing and stuff that, again, was paid by the hour.
Yep. So it was.
Yep. And then we moved into our next phase, which was an interesting one, which was we joined a network marketing company. And again, we did it kind of ass backwards. We did it based on the fact that people were making a lot of money in it. And we were like, oh, this looks so amazing. There's people making so much money. And this is where we did all the stupid things like the flyering and so much calling people. We even bought an old lead list and cold called people.
I found that a while ago, going through an old.
Oh God!
Like, what is this? And I was like, oh.
It was horrible.
That's all those people I called that told me I should kill myself.
Oh God! I used to I remember picking up the phone and being like, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer. I mean, like, you're supposed to want to connect to people and make money, right? But I
still liked that because I learned a lot by calling people.
Yeah.
I learned that it could be done better. I learned that the phone. I do actually like the phone. The phone isn't for a lot of people, but I thought, I could do this if there was a better way to do it.
Yeah.
If I wasn't calling people that instantly hate my guts.
Yeah.
So that was our first time ever buying leads.
Oh, well, see, and the thing was, in doing that too, we didn't really account for the fact that these poor people, I mean, we bought it real cheap. And these people had been sold a million times. So they were like, here's another marketer calling me. I mean, it was pretty awful. And I mean, we got battle scars from that. I definitely the idea of cold calling people makes me want to vomit. and the idea of
that's the thing. I don't want anyone to kind of go, oh, really? You shouldn't put business cards in business magazines because that seems like a good idea. If you think whoa, that's something I could do. I could do that on a big scale. Go for it. If you have a team of orphans that you can send out across the city, sticking cards in magazines, and it can work. Any method can work, but you just have to actually have some kind of, I don't want to say passion for it or something that has to kind of excite you and think, I could do this. If you're big into slapping up those little picket signs on roundabouts, or you don't even have roundabouts in America, but
exits, freeway exits.
Yeah, all those things. If you're all for that, if you're really handy with a hammer, and you go for it.
Some people like getting up at the crack of dawn to run out and do some stealth marketing.
Yeah, or if you're you love your phone, you like talking on the phone, selling people, or cold calling, because you have a history of that from some job you're in. Go for it. If it excites you, go for it. That was the problem with us when we were doing that stuff in magazines. When I was putting all those things in magazines, going around places and just leaving them here and stuff, I felt horrible doing it all. So I didn't keep it up. Yeah. So you have to feel good about it. And at that time, all I was thinking was, you know what? I bet you there's a way better way using the internet. But that company was like,
don't use the internet. That's newfangled.
That's a fad. That will come down or something. There was a little bit of talk about doing Craigslist and stuff.
Yeah.
And now Craigslist is almost
that's the dinosaur of internet marketing.
Yeah. Go there and look at opportunities, and it's like an elephant sitting on your face.
Good metaphor, good metaphor. No, what we call this is classic mistake number 2, which is which is compromising who you are for money, right? So what was interesting is in this phase, no.
All right. That never happened.
No. Compromising who you are, which is, so in this phase, you are, stop it! Ooh, we're alive, collect myself. Yeah, so in this phase, this is where we personally, we're in a business that we actually didn't feel that the products matched their price points, right? So we were kind of a little bit uncomfortable with asking people to buy this stuff because we weren't sure that we had gotten the value out of it that matched the price tag attached. This was a very, very high ticket company. And so all these rich people were telling us, go do this stuff. And one, we were massively uncomfortable doing the stuff because the things we were doing weren't in alignment with who we were. So that's actually really important. There's a huge difference between doing stuff out of your comfort zone that's helping you grow as opposed to doing stuff that's just not you. So for us, putting that cards and magazines was not us. I mean, I remember sitting on a dart on the way home, and I was starting to like bucket sweat because I was feeling like I had these opportunity cards in my bag, and I was like, I feel like I need to leave one on the seat when I get off. And the closer I got to my stop, the more I was sweating. And this memory is burned into my head. I was like, I have to do this. This rich person would tell me to do it. This rich person would totally not be afraid to do this. So in the end, I hopped off and I left this card on the dart. You know, this is our rapid transit train, and it, like, now thinking back, I'm like, why did I do stuff that was out of alignment with who I am? Like, in our business, we've had to break through things that we were uncomfortable with, like, you know, being a little more public, doing live stuff. I mean, man, we would hardly do videos when we first started, let alone come out live and do live broadcasts. But we've been growing more into who we really are rather than like trying to push against and do stuff that we're like, no, this is not right, you know. So there's a huge difference there. So the second big mistake that you can make, the idiotic thing you can do, and if you've done it, we're not calling you an idiot. We are completely calling ourselves idiotic in doing these things. So that's compromising who you are based on the idea of big money, right? So anything else to add to this one? No. Okay, so the number 3 mistake that we made, the idiotic thing that we did, was after leaving this big company, when we finally realized it was just not in alignment with us at all, is we went from thing to thing. We spent a few years just jumping from opportunity to opportunity. Now, these were opportunities that were in alignment with us. Like, we felt good about them. We felt like the products were great. Some of them we were like actively using the products. We had income potential. We weren't trading our time for money. We weren't operating on a model where we had to like shrink our dream. You know, at that point, my sponsor was making a huge amount of money. I was really excited about it, but for whatever reason, we kept being like kind of doing half-assed work and then seeing some new opportunity pop up and be like, oh, that's going to be the thing, you know, and then coming in, doing kind of half-assed work, and then jumping to the next thing, going, oh, that's going to be the thing. And because we never, like, after the experience of doing something that was kind of out of alignment with ourselves, it was hard for us to put our hearts back into it. And so finally...
We're thinking that the system was like, we thought that that opportunity was going to do something for us because it was new and we jumped in.
Shiny, yeah.
And like, we're jumping in and sitting there waiting, kind of going.
Exactly.
I hear when you get in at the top, that's
yeah.
But like the thing is, we jumped in and we're actually just sitting there going.
But
rather than like taking action and moving on stuff.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that like the only training we had on marketing was all this stuff that we were like, we will never do that again. We would never drop cards anywhere again. Like as we said before, if that's cool with you, that's cool. It just made us like not feel good about. It's not like a bad thing to do. It's just if it feels like if this makes you feel poor.
It feels like work.
Weird,
what we do now is it's all internet-based stuff, so we can just stick a laptop on our legs and just get to work from the comfort of your home, and that gelled with us. So we're like, and it feels good to do. You know, like we learn stuff every day and we apply it every day, and it feels good. You don't have to like look left and right, you know, because we're uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, and the truth is that like every day we get uncomfortable. Like we do stuff that's like, oh, this is pushing a little bit, but it's growth pushing, because we know it's like now we have a new skill we can use. You know,
but we know when we're pushing something, it's something that we actually want. Like I've never wanted to be a ninja card dropper.
No,
but I did want to, like, I was thinking, like, there's something on the internet, I need to get to this internet thing. Yeah. And the more we push, like, I never thought I'd be a person that would sit in front of a live thing.
Me either.
I thought, no, I'll find some way around it, but there was, like, little things that just kind of pushed me this way, and I thought, you know what, I want to go this way. Yeah. And as long as you want to go that direction, you can get uncomfortable.
That's what I've been noticing as well, like with Rebels, you know, you guys who are watching, you know, you probably follow Rebel TV, which is on, you know, like every day of the week with different faces on every day. A lot of these people are like this is their first time doing something live, but they've almost all like grown in baby steps to that point, you know, where at the start, a lot of Rebels start off just sharing other people's YouTube videos in a really nice, kosher way, where they're helping out the video creators and, you know, driving some traffic to their own site. And then they're kind of discovering, like kind of sifting through all the possibilities and strategies that we have available and discovering what's like the right one for them. You know, so it's not necessarily about following what the rich person says. It's following the principles that the people who have gone before you teach, but then finding the path that suits you and that feels good to you. And it's not pushing and growing a little bit. Like, you're going to have to grow here. If you want to make more money than what you're making in life right now, you got to face it. You're going to have to grow. Like, you're not just going to press a button and be like, okay, now I'm going to make money, unless you're involved in a scam, in which case it's all going to fall apart around you at some point. You know.
Yep. What's all this about?
Oh, yes. Sorry. So anyway, that was the third mistake. The third mistake is changing multiple times. Is not actually settling down on one thing, saying, this is it, this is how I'm going to make my money, and sometimes I'm going to have to push a little bit, sometimes I'm going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable, I'm going to learn how to do it, and I'm going to keep going and until I get to my goal. So that's the third thing. So this is Friday is Rebel Wins and new members. So our Rebel Wins this week, Kelly increased her lead flow by 25%. Woo, woo. Donnie hit the first page of Google again. Donnie, this is like becoming a regular thing. Jackie, actually, this was pretty cool. Jackie got retweeted by the guy who runs ProBlogger, who is one of her idols, and he actually had read her blog and was telling her that he liked her blog, which I thought was kind of cool. It's like a celebrity. Anyway, and for us, guys, we took like the whole week off. We didn't do anything. My sister was here, so we relaxed. We played out in the sun. We got a little bit of heat stroke, sunstroke. We got a little dehydrated. But we had fun. We didn't do much work at all.
I'm rehydrating right now.
Yeah. But it's whiskey, so it might not rehydrate all that well. So yes, so we did that, and we still actually signed up more people this week than last week. Go figure. Anyway, and then we also wanted to welcome all the new members. Welcome to all the new Rebels. You guys are the most important people here. You're the people who are just on the next step towards achieving your dreams, and we're here to help you out. So make sure you're fully plugged in the group. There's so much exciting stuff going on. You know, take it one step at a time, ask questions, and we're here with you. So welcome to Shauna, Esmeralda, Paula, Michael, Unita, Tracy, Christopher, and Aaron, who actually joined, I think, like 2 hours ago. So welcome to you too, Aaron. So that's what's going on with the Rebels this week. So to recap, the 3 mistakes that you might be making are shortchanging your dreams, which is like operating on a model like trading time for money, you know, like operating, you know, trying to do stuff based on what you think is possible, not what you really want. Number 2 is compromising who you are and what you believe is the right thing to do based on big money. Don't fall in that one. bad one. And number 3 is continually changing business opportunities, continually changing thinking. It's the next thing, it's the next thing, it's the next thing. It doesn't matter, it's this thing. If you apply yourself, if you have the proper training, and you're willing to work consistently every day. And actually, that's what the Rebels are here to help you do. We show you the step-by-step path, how to create your dreams. You can go from a dream maybe of just paying an extra bill. There's Rebels who are working on that first $100 a month. There's Rebels who are working on creating like 5,000, replacing an income. There's people who are working on the lifestyle, 15,000 a month, and then on upwards to living the dream. We're working towards 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month, you name it. We've got full opportunity for that entire range of dreams. The most important thing is that you have a dream and that you go for it and apply yourself. So we invite you to click the link below this video and join the Rebels. All right, guys, so happy Freedom Friday. We're going to go have more of these, although maybe we need water to rehydrate.
There's water in it.
There's water in it. There's ice cubes. All right, you have to hit it this time so I don't have to lean all the way over. All right, bye!
Stop broadcast.